Friday. It's 4:18 in the afternoon. Sun's about half an hour away from setting here in Amsterdam, and I'm along a canal 1 meter below sea level. I'm living in a city I never thought I'd ever live. And when they say success comes at a price, I'm not sure many people are willing to spend that kind of price. 6 months ago, I had the idea I was moving here. 6 months ago, was my wedding day. 6 months ago, we knew we were moving, so that's why we got married, weirdly. And then 6 weeks after that, I left. I stopped playing football with the Cowlitz Cobras so I could get rid of basically an entire apartment and pare everything down into basically 4 suitcases and 2 backpacks. 4 suitcases and 2 backpacks. Whatever clothes I could wear. And this wasn't just clothing. I had to pack things. I had to pack PlayStations. I had to pack football gear. I had to get rid of things I never thought I'd ever get rid of. And I had to, after a fashion, leave people behind I did not think I'd be leaving behind. At some points in your life, you think everything's going steady state. But if you keep pursuing your dream, you do realize that that's going to come at a cost. Now for Aaron, that cost wasn't that big. I mean, to be fair, he had to get rid of as much physical stuff as I did. And he has had the same issue with living here as I have. Like the bank accounts, we don't speak the base language, we don't, just the generalized customs, the overall stress of life that we're used to as Americans is not existent here. And yeah, I basically dropped out of the Cowlitz Cobras after the Spokane game. I dropped it, and I just said it, my life was hitting a shitstorm, and it was true. And then pretty much the next thing anybody saw from me on social media was August 4th, and I'm in Portland Airport, and I'm leaving. And I had no intention on coming back anytime soon. This wasn't a couple week thing. This wasn't months. We intended this for years. And it sucks. I say it wasn't bad for Aaron because his parents already had pretty much left for the East Coast. So even if we stayed back there, it wouldn't, that would have been steady state for him. So whether he was in the States or he was in Amsterdam, shipping's a bit of a problem and phone calls are wonky. It's not just a long distance in-country call, it's an international call. But, the internet fixes that. And I've been having it I haven't been like, I'm fed up with it. But it's just, as much as I have football, as much as I have guys on a team that don't even, like, the guys back at the States, they're like, oh yeah, well, you're Theo. Bouncing around in their head, it still was, and I hate to say this, but it was like, oh, well, he's gay. Oh, well, Aaron. Like, nobody ever said your boyfriend, or nobody ever said your husband, which we weren't married, but, they said Aaron, or your friend, or your guy, or your buddy. Whereas over here, I have people that walk up and they're just like, by the way, your husband? Yeah, he did catch that on camera, and it was really cool. That doesn't matter to them. There's so much stuff that doesn't matter to them when it comes to football because, but it's still like I'm not a part of them. And it's like I knew this would happen. And I'm sitting here along this canal. It's like 5 degrees out. My butt's freezing on this metal bench. And I can't believe where my life's gone because I didn't give up. And I watch how many people say they're not going to give up, but they have. And they've given up because they're not willing to pay the price. And it's not so much like paying the piper or all that jazz. They're just not willing to give things up. I said years ago that I wanted to play internationally. And they're like, oh yeah, I do too. That'd be really cool to go over and play overseas, over in Europe. That'd be really fun. And they hear about it. And I tell them, I'm like, dude, you're married, you have kids, they're not gonna pay you. You have to pick up and go and basically live like a college student's life. You can't just go over there and live the life. And they're like, oh man, really? And some of them admit that they don't really want to pay that kind of price. And others, You know, they're like, oh, it's not that bad. I bet I can swing it. And I'm just like, dude, and as great as the life is, as great as I've achieved everything, not everything, but pretty much all but like one or two things that I set out to do 5 years ago. It just, obviously I was willing to pay the price. I just didn't realize what price it would be, and I still paid it. Now I get to sit back and watch Willie back there sitting in the semi-pro world, and I can't do anything about it because I've already paid my price. I can't pay his, kind of beyond my ability. I can help mitigate, but I can't fully pay it. And being away from football on this month break that the Netherlands does is just, it's too much introspection. It's too much time thinking. It's too much time sitting in the apartment realizing that the channel's successful. You know, if anybody says, you know, this isn't successful, then they don't know. By the time this video goes live, I'll have 10,000 subscribers. And I'll probably do a video for that one because that's kind of a big deal. That's, you know, 5 digits. And it can just explode from there next football season, or when football season actually kicks up and we start posting game stuff. But it's just like, we don't have any friends here. We're not even really sure if we really fit in with the Dutchies. And I know I'm too scared to ask anybody if they want to hang out because I'm just socially awkward. So I sit and I pay my price until I feel comfortable doing the things that, there are things I wasn't prepared for, but I'm still paying for, and I'm willing to pay them. I'm not making much sense at this point because I've already kind of worked myself up. But I guess I can wrap this up by just saying, you know, you guys want a dream, you want the stuff, but sometimes you're not willing to pay all of the prices. You're not willing to literally give up everything. It looks nice in our apartment, but it's furnished. It's a furnished apartment. We move, we're still going back pretty much to suitcases and going to the next apartment. And that still echoes in my head that we don't own anything here. We're basically just glorified vagrants. I don't have any roots here. I don't really have any friends here. And too much introspection time over this break has just gotten to me. So I'm gonna end this off here because my hand is getting cold and it's getting darker. I will chat with you guys over the weekend and put something together for the year-long wrap-up.